It's 8:30 a.m. and I'd like to call to order a special board meeting of the Board of Directors for October 1st, 2021. Before we begin, please note the meeting's being recorded. And Madam Secretary, would you please call the roll?
Good morning. Thank you, everyone, for being on this call so early. Starting with Director Arnold. Absent. Director Conroy. Absent. Director Fredericks.
Here.
Thank you. Director Garbarino.
Here.
Director Giudice.
Here.
Director Grosboll is absent. Director Hernandez.
Here.
Director Hill.
Here.
Director Maston.
Here.
Thank you. Director Melgar. Absent. Director Rabbit.
Here.
Director Rodoni.
Here.
Director Snyder.
Here.
Director Stephanie.
Here.
Thank you. Second Vice President Cochran.
Here.
First Vice President Tirio.
Here.
And President Parr.
Present.
Thank you. We have a quorum.
Thank you. Will you confirm staff on the line, please?
I will. Thank you. Dennis Mulligan, you're on the line.
Here.
Joe Wire.
Yes.
Ava Barr-Furbish.
Present.
Kim Manolius.
Good morning.
Thank you. Molly Caban, are you also on the line?
Yes, I'm here.
Thank you. Steve Miller. Not on the line. Mona Babauta.
Present.
Tim Swindler.
Present.
And Kelly Hopper.
Present.
Okay. Thank you. That confirms staff on the line.
Thank you very much. Thank you all for joining us this morning. As usual, we appreciate your continued patience as we conduct the business in this manner. And as a reminder, I'll be asking if board members have any comments or questions. And if there are questions, the Secretary or I will call on you accordingly. And as always, if you're not speaking, please remember to mute your phones to minimize the noise and to unmute when you're speaking. Director Giudice, would you please conduct us in the Pledge of Allegiance?
Thank you, Madam Chair. Of course. Please place your hand over your hearts and repeat after me. I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all. Hoorah.
Thank you, Director Giudice. Madam Secretary, would you please continue with the next item?
Thank you. Justine's moderating and monitoring our public line. Everyone, please bear with us as we transition between the callers. And I'd like to remind our commenters that this is a special board meeting. Therefore, our public comment is limited to the item listed on the agenda. In a second, I'm going to have Justine join us and introduce the first speaker.
Thank you.
Good morning. Thank you. Our first and only speaker at this time. Good morning. Our first and only speaker at this time is David Pilpel. David, go ahead.
Can you hear me okay?
Yes, we can.
Great. So first on the Brown Act and teleconferencing, I understand that AB 361 was signed by the governor and now applies. There aren't findings for today's meeting, but I believe that the board will be required to adopt findings within 30 days and then every 30 days thereafter in order to continue with teleconferencing meetings. And I assume that the attorney and the district secretary are all over that, and that that'll apply to all of the local agencies that you serve on as well. On this particular item, the negotiated package seems reasonable to employees and to the public, and sounds like is can be paid for within the existing budget. It's not going to require an additional line on the budget status report. I have heard about requests for back hazard pay for various employees that have been working on the front lines for the last year and a half. This proposal seems to address that via the one-time payment. I suspect that more recruitment and retention incentives may be needed in the future to fill and to keep filled key positions as other private and public employers are having to do now. Finally, I'm sure there's a list of classifications and bargaining units. I'm sure I can get that somehow if I'm interested, but I'm just wondering what is the number of employees affected here that are in the represented units in the union coalition. Doesn't have to be an exact number, just a sense of about how many. Thanks for listening.
Thank you. Are there other comments, Justine?
Madam President,
I wanted to comment. This is Marina Secretano. I thought you heard me.
All right. Go ahead,
Madam
Marina.
President, would you mind if Marina goes ahead? Thank you.
Not
Marina,
a bit.
go ahead.
Oh, thank you. I apologize for that. I just wanted to say on behalf of the coalition that I appreciate the willingness for the directors and the staff to work toward this long, drawn-out process to reach agreement with the proposal that the members will ratify. I know it's been a long, hard road, and I do think that we've come a long way, and I look forward to resuming discussions in January for the balance of the agreement. And again, thank you very much.
Thank you, Marina. We usually don't comment, and I had comments at the end of the meeting, but we appreciate the coalition too and their work toward today. Are there other comments?
Great.
Mm-hmm. Are there other comments from the public?
Those are all the speakers that I have listed this morning.
All right, thank you. And you all, if anyone happens to be listening, you know that you can also submit your comments electronically to the district secretary, and they'll be passed on to us. So that concludes the public comments to the board under agenda item 4. Madam Secretary, would you please continue to the next agenda item?
Madam Chair,
Item
this is
5.
Director Hernandez. May I be recognized, please?
Of course.
Thank you, Madam
Go
Chair.
ahead,
Good morning.
Sabrina.
Good morning, everyone. I'd like the record to reflect that I'm recusing myself. I'm leaving the call right now, and I'm relying on staff to text me when it's safe to come back in. Thank you very much.
All right, thank you, Director Hernandez, for that comment.
I'd also
All right.
like to, Director Snyder,
Yes.
I would like
Go
to
ahead.
recuse myself. Okay,
All
recuse
right.
myself as well and come back when things are voted on.
All right, thank you. Madam Secretary, do you have that information?
I do. I have them both noted that Directors Hernandez and Snyder both have recused themselves. Thank you.
All right, thank you very much.
Thank you.
All right, now we
Continuing
can
on.
go ahead with the next item. Mm-hmm.
All right. I'm continuing to item 5A under the special order of business, and that's to authorize ratification of a memorandum of understanding with union coalition bargaining units and associated actions. We sent board members a 3-page staff report yesterday afternoon and posted on our website as well. Dennis is on the line to begin his presentation. Dennis, go ahead.
Thank you, Madam Secretary, President Parr, members of the board, members of the public. Good morning. The item before you is to authorize ratification of a memorandum of understanding with union coalition bargaining units and associated actions. The employees covered by this proposed action have not had a wage increase since July 1st of 2019, so it's been over 2 years. It is recommended that the Board of Directors authorize ratification of a short-term memorandum of understanding with the union coalition bargaining units, which provides for a 2.5% wage increase and a $500 stipend per employee, one-time non-pensionable payment. And this would be effective the pay period in which each bargaining unit ratifies the MOU, with the understanding that for the wage increase to apply in the current pay period, coalition bargaining units must notify the district of ratification by 5 p.m. this afternoon. The proposed MOU will expire on January 31st, 2022. We have been told by union coalition leadership this morning that the majority of the bargaining units have voted to accept the proposal. Several units are voting today. So I just wanted to provide that context with you because the staff report says that at the time we wrote the staff report, 4 had approved the MOU, but lots of units voted yesterday. And like I said, some are continuing to vote today. The global COVID-19 pandemic has upended our society, and it's affected travel in the Golden Gate Corridor. It's reduced demand for our transportation services in the corridor, which has had significant impacts on our finances. The collective bargaining agreements with the Union Coalition expired at the end of June of 2020. We've been in negotiations with them for about a year and a half to develop measures to address the budgetary challenges and to reach closure on new labor agreements. Against that backdrop, our hats off to the coalition. In a leap of faith, they agreed to transition to different medical plans as a measure of negotiations in their spirit to help the district. And those transitions were approved by the board through a series of actions over many months, and it saves us a lot of money. They agreed to transition medical plans with the understanding that we would continue to negotiate in good faith the terms. As a reciprocal measure of good faith in the negotiation process and in recognition that they haven't had a wage increase in over 2 years, we negotiated a short-term MOU with the union to put money in their pockets. This will help with retention and with recruitment. We have a significant number of vacancies at the district, and some of them we're starting to fill now. So this provides a 2.5% wage increase and a one-time lump sum non-pensionable payment of $500, both of which are conditioned upon execution of the May 2021 CalPERS agreement, which all but one of the bargaining units have signed. The list of the bargaining units affected by this is attached in the staff reports on page 3, and there's 23 units that are part of the union coalition. Other terms include changing the opt-out for district medical benefits if they have a spouse that has benefits, so to increase it to $500 per month. It would also increase the reimbursement amount for those district employees who need to wear work boots to $450 over 3 years to purchase new boots or to repair their existing work boots. It will increase the clothing allowance for the staff on our ferry boats by $10 annually and to allow them to use that money to purchase safety shoes. It would also implement a commuter benefits program that allows employees to pay for transportation and parking costs on a pre-tax basis. Currently, employees get free passage on Golden Gate Transit, bus, and ferry. However, with the passage of time, a lot of our employees do not live along the 101 corridor served by our services, and so to expand that would be helpful. Also, it clarifies the May 2021 CalPERS agreement. So for employees that had expenses prior to today, October 1st, they can use their pre-existing HRA funds under the same rules that were in effect prior to May of this year when the CalPERS agreement was ratified. However, starting today, eligible expenses for reimbursement from HRA funds are limited to deductibles, co-insurance, and co-pays for medical and prescription. In vision and dental expenses and other what's known as IRS 213D expenses are no longer reimbursable. Also, it would update the language dealing with the Janus decision for how employees may choose to not participate in union dues. Each unit in the coalition must ratify this agreement to achieve what's contemplated here. And so staff respectfully recommends that you approve this item. And we want to thank the Union Coalition leadership, and we want to thank all of our Union Coalition employees to help us reach this juncture today. With that, staff is available to answer any questions that you may have.
Thank you. Are there board members who have questions on this item? If not, that concludes discussion on this item. The action before us is to ratify a memorandum of understanding with the Union Coalition bargaining units. May I have a motion on this item, please?
This is
Patty. All right, it sounds as though we have a motion and perhaps one could be a second.
I'm happy to be second. This is Patty.
All right, thank you. Madam Secretary, would you please conduct a roll call? We have a motion and a second.
Thank you. And I'd also like to note that Director Arnold joined us while Dennis was giving his presentation.
Oh, good. Thank you.
You're welcome. We're going to recognize a first from Director Rabin and a second from Director Garbarino. Starting with Director Arnold.
Aye.
Aye. Director Conroy. Absent. Director Fredericks.
Yes.
Yes. Director Garbarino.
Yes.
Director Giudice. Director Giudice? Are you on mute? We'll come back to Director Giudice. I see him connected. He may be on mute. Director Grosboll? Absent. Director Hernandez has recused herself. Director Hill.
Yes.
Director Mastin.
Aye.
Aye. Director Melgar is absent. Director Rabbit.
Aye.
Director Rodoni.
Aye.
Aye. Director Snyder has recused himself as well. Director Stephanie.
Aye.
Aye. Second Vice President Cochran.
Yes.
First Vice President Tirio.
Yes.
President Parr.
Aye.
Aye. I'm going to go back to Director Giudice. Director Giudice, are you still on the line? Okay. Well, we have 11 ayes. Director Giudice is, I guess, not available. He's disconnected from our line. We have 11 ayes, so that motion passes.
Thank you. Congratulations to all of us, including the coalition members. So I'm going to take a big deep breath here. That was significant. On behalf of the board, who incidentally
Hello?
Hello?
Did we lose President Parr?
We may have. President Parr, are you still on the line? President Parr, are you still on the line? I think we have, she has a poor connection. She was trying to reach the end of the agenda. So I'm going to ask Director Tirio if you could lead us into some closing thoughts as far as ending the meeting. She was just about to get there.
Excuse me, this is Dennis Mulligan. Could I just offer one thought? I just received an email that was sent out by Director Giudice saying he votes yes, but that he was accidentally disconnected from the call. So I do want the record to record that he sent in an email vote of yes.
Got it. All right.
I don't know that an email vote is allowed or necessary. We have 11 votes, but we will note Director Giudice's support. And so we've had public comment. We've had the special order of business. I will just thank all the parties involved in this. This is never a simple matter. We on the Labor Advisory Committee heard some of the items involved in this negotiation. There were obviously many others, and all of which had to be worked through, and some of which came to a favorable resolution. So again, thanks to everybody involved. And with that, I will ask, I think, for a motion to adjourn.
Thank you. I have to say thank you, Director Tirio. I don't know what happened. I got on a different one. I will back off and you can close the meeting. Thank you.
Okay. Actually, maybe I will ask if there are any directors other directors who wish to comment. And President Parr, if you had something you wanted to add at this point, this would be a good point at which to add it.
Mine was just an apology that the speaker got on the wrong thing. It was out in my car.
Okay.
Anyways.
Thank you, President Parr. Do any of the other directors have anything they wish to add? Then I will look for a motion to adjourn.
Also move. I'll
second. There's a motion and a second. If there is no objection, I will give a second. Hearing no objection, this meeting is adjourned. Thank you, everyone.